right, Spulture Show in the morning, episode 19, I believe, coming to a theater near you. We're live right now. It's going to be a great episode. We got a few sports topics to touch on, and then at the end, we got a guest, not really a guest, we got a call in from one of the most avid listeners of the show who's going to correct me on some of my errors from the Australian Open in the past couple weeks. There tended to be a decent amount of them. Some of them I don't know about, though. We're going to have to see. So that will end with that. That'll be at the end of the show. And then, we'll get going here. First, I want to touch on some EuroLeague basketball. You know, I'm watching EuroLeague basketball day in, day out. Even though they don't have it every day, I'm tapping in every day. But yesterday, it was Monaco versus the team that they played being Zalgiris Kaunas. All right. And Zalgiris Kaunas just came out and throttled Monaco. This was a game I thought Monaco would get back to winning ways. They've lost 3 in a row. What's going on in Monaco? I just watched a documentary on Netflix that said, like, the escape from Monaco, and I feel like that's what Mike James needs. He needs out of Monaco. I can't believe I'm saying this right now, but they're not even paying their players. There's no owner of the team right now. Like, no one's practicing. Of course they're not going to win. They're like one of the favorites to win the EuroLeague this year, and they can't pay their players. I mean, we got Kill Bill as the head coach. I mean, we got Mike James, we got Daniel Tice, we got some of the best names in the EuroLeague, and we can't pay them. We should be competing for a championship. What's going on? I thought I was having a great year. I thought the Pacers got to the final. I thought the Hoosiers won the championship. I thought Arsenal's going to win the Prem. I thought Monaco might win the EuroLeague. And I don't see it happening if we can't pay our guys and we can't get them to practice, because you know Panathinaikos is going to get it. Panathinaikos beat Madrid yesterday by 1. Trey Lyles had a pretty shitter of a game, only had a couple points. That's all right. He'd been averaging 17 in the month of January. It was due to come. Bummer for Trey. Love you, Trey. Shitter of a game, though. But then they lost to Panathinaikos. Panathinaikos didn't even have Kendrick Nunn. They got the Final Four at home. Panathinaikos does. You know they're going to get it together. What is going on in Monaco? Figure it out. Figure it out, boys. Did Jordan Lloyd do the right thing at getting out? No, he plays for Anadolu. They suck too, but they snapped their 9-game losing streak yesterday with a big win versus Valencia. The EuroLeague right now is really tight. It's really competitive. There's a lot of teams that have a chance to win, and the best teams aren't taking advantage of being the best teams, and that's kind of what's happening right now. I mean, you got Hapoel Tel Aviv, who I don't think's that good, but they're consistent, so they might be good. But the teams that have the highest level are so inconsistent, you just really can't count on them. And it's a bummer, man. It's a bummer, because Monaco's roster, they should not be like 8th, 9th, 10th in the EuroLeague. They should be a first-round bye. I don't even know if they have first-round byes, but they should have one. I think they do. Yeah, because Barcelona had to play a play-in. They have a play-in. That's what it is. All right. Had to get that off my chest. I'm bummed out about it. It's been tough watching Monaco these past 4 games. Ever since they blew that 15-point lead in the fourth quarter 4 games ago, it's just been downhill. They'll recover, but it's tough to recover when you don't practice. And when you can't pay the players aren't going to practice. Well, I mean, we're talking about practice, not a game. We're talking about practice. But anyways, yeah, Zalgiris Kaunas killed Monaco. They were up 20 the whole entire game. They won by 20. They were up 18 in the first quarter, and it never got close again. It was quite the bummer. Arsenal, on the other hand, they went with a 4-0 win. Just kidding. That was the game before. We already talked to soccer specialist D. Clear about that. Yesterday was a 1-0 win. Kai Havertz with the goal in the 90th minute. Kind of had the chance to pass it. I think it was to Trossard on his left. Faked the pass. Went right around the goalie. Said, I'm scoring the game-winning goal. Yeah, that's right. I'm scoring the game-winning goal. And so he did. He took that upon himself. They had already been up 1 on the aggregate, so that one just kind of confirmed it, especially in the 90th. Arsenal's playing their first final. I just would like to, say in 2021, I went to the stadium. Might have been 2022. One of those years before they got good. When they were bad, I went to the stadium, right? And I sat in that seat. And I just took it all in for a while, right? I saw the trophy. I went in the locker room. I just took it all in, right? And ever since then, they've gotten second in the Prem. We're not happy with second, but second's better than where they were at. Was there something to my visit? I gotta know. I gotta know. I gotta know how you get rid of the. You hated on numbers untouchable. They got the data wrong. This is the moment I know they've been praying on. What? Hey, what? Hey. Yeah. Anyways, so yeah, ever since then they've been on the up. They're playing for their first final in 7 years. I was an Arsenal fan 7 years ago. When I was a young little lad, I liked Steven Gerrard because we had the same name. He didn't play for Arsenal, but yeah. Uh, anyways, full on Arsenal till the day I die now. So moving on. IU played USC last night. Alijah Arenas, I think, is a dog, absolute dog. If I'm the Pacers and we like are to win a few more games, say we don't get a top 3, 4 pick, I'm taking Alijah Arenas. I don't really know what he's supposed to go at, but he's Gilbert's son. He's an incredible scorer. Had 29 last night. He's tall. He's listed at 6'6". I don't believe that. I think he's 6'8", 6'9". I think he's tall. I think he's going to grow more. It's only his 5th game of the year. I'm telling you, if the Pacers are to slip out of the top whatever, we're taking Alijah Arenas. I think that's maybe a little bit of a gamble, but a gamble I'm willing to take. Right? We're hit. We're not telling the blackjack dealer we're staying on that one. Hit, hit, hit. Anyways, I'm blabbering because I'm having some fun, man. It's the middle of the day. You know, it's Spulture Show in the morning, but really it's Spulture Show in the midday. We got curling coming up. Come on, Hanko. We got curling at 1. The Olympics. How could I not mention this? The Olympics are starting today, 1 o'clock Eastern time, curling. We got 4 matches. We got Sweden taking on South Korea. You gotta imagine Sweden wins that. It's curling in South Korea. Come on, right? Canada versus Czech. When I was in Canada, they were big into curling. Even at the sports facility said curling and stuff. Come on, we gotta see Canada take that one. Who else do we have playing today? We got Estonia playing Switzerland. I can't even imagine how close of a curling match that's going to be. 2 cold countries, 2 countries that probably, thrive on the ice. I mean, I think that's going to be a heater of a match between Estonia and Switzerland. I'm taking the underdog Switzerland though. The other matchup we got today would be between Great Britain and Norway. I think Norway's got a little more control with their curling brushes, and I expect them to kind of take this one. But that one I could see going the distance. I don't know if they play 5 sets or how that works. I could see it going the distance. That one has potential to be like an Alcaraz Center matchup, honestly. Don't sleep on Italy, though. They have a chance to get a medal, I believe, in curling. That'd be a big start to the Olympics, right? Hockey starts Thursday. Yo, I should honestly make an Olympics pod, like straight Olympics. Like, let's go. Every day during the Winter Olympics. That'd be nuts, huh? I might do it. I really might do it. All right, moving on. I'm not doing that. I got me and A Liddy. We're cooking. I got stuff to do. I got stuff to do. All right, what else are we gonna touch on today? The Cavs dynasty. They traded for James Harden. George Cotter. I could not mention this could not go this episode without mentioning this for you, Cott. I mean, the Cavs have a dynasty now. That was an unbelievable trade they made. I mean, Garland's been an all-star in the past. He hasn't looked it recently. Maybe he gets back to that with the Clippers when he has a little more, control, all that type of stuff. But Harden and Mitchell, oh my God. And they didn't really give up anything else. They still got Mobley. They still got Allen. I think they might be the favorites in the East. Thought the Knicks were. They're not legit. So now it's the Pistons. Pistons are legit. They're good. But are they? Could be the Cavs. They got Mitchell and Harden. And Allen and Mobley. They traded Hunter. They got Schroeder as a backup guard. I mean, they're looking good. And I think next year oh my God. Next year you got Mitchell, Harden. Those are the 1-2. You got Mobley and Allen. Who's your 3? It's got to be a shooter, but it could be LeBron. Or does LeBron the 6th man? LeBron's going back to Cleveland for his last year. He's got to. He could be the 6th man. But I think he's on that roster. I think he fits it right. You got Mitchell, you got Harden, both are shooters. You got Mobley, you got Allen, both are bigs. And then you throw another shooter in there like this is gonna sound crazy, but like a Georges Niang or someone like that. And then you get LeBron as the 6th man. Whew. I like it. G Kai, I think I'm not sure if you're a Cavs fan or if you just like that trade, but there's a dynasty brewing over there, brother. There's a dynasty brewing over there. All right. That's all I got for today. The Knights are slumping. They've lost a bunch in a row. Hopefully they get back to winning ways tonight. Everybody enjoy the Winter Olympics. Look out for the speed skating. That's my dad's favorite thing. Everyone look out for the big jump on the snowboard, like the old Shaun White specialist. That was a sick one. Have some fun with the Winter Olympics. Hopefully Monaco let's everybody donate to this GoFundMe. I'm starting a GoFundMe sponsored by Slinko. Slinko is helping raise money for the Monegasque basketball team, Monaco Basket. They currently can't pay their players, so just Slinko is looking to buy that team. They'd be called the Monaco Tour Bites, is what they're gonna go by. But anyways, yeah, I've spewed some shit these past couple weeks, and not everything has been completely accurate. As I said on my first episode, when I predict things, they're usually wrong. That's why it's not a betting show, because everyone would lose money and not watch me. So we just talk about them rather than predicting things. Other than that curling stuff, that's all going to happen. But for the predictions that did go wrong, including the Monaco loss that I said they probably win, I got special legend Sam Swinford in the house telling me where I went wrong these past couple weeks. Enjoy.
Morning, everyone. Thank you to Stephen, Christine, gracious host, for having me on Spulture in the morning. Spulture 365 here for some errors and omissions. Anyways, here we go. It's a tough couple of weeks for it. Mr. Christie is obviously pretty well versed in tennis, so not a ton of errors and omissions for the Australian Open, but nonetheless, we're going to give it a go. The first one I'm going to open up with is actually from pre-Spulture. I do apologize to Stephen in advance, but
I already know what this is going to be. This guy's ridiculous. He's pulling out the receipts on this one.
As a Purdue fan the last couple of weeks, we need something, and that would be that Stephen tweeted after, I believe it was Gabe Cup's first game, one of his first like 2-3 games. Stephen tweeted that Gabe Cupps is like Braden Smith but can actually play defense, which is one of the craziest takes of all time. I will say
he's not wrong. I did say that, and it is probably my worst take of all time. I thought Gabe Cupps was going to be like the next Aaron Kraft. I thought he was going to be a 4-year just absolute legend in the Big Ten. I don't even know where he goes to school now. He beat LeBron in that 3-point contest when he was in high school. I thought he was the next one for sure. Anyways, roll the tape, Swinny.
That time, I think Braden was starting like his sophomore season probably, so still wasn't quite as established. Obviously, he had a decent freshman year but anyway, I could never let that one go. He actually deleted the tweet because I kept reminding him about it. But yeah, I mean, it's bad out here for us. So I just want to slip that in. But even like the IU fans at this point aren't even like talking shit. They're just like, they don't even know what to say. I don't know what to say. You know, it's crazy. It's tough times out here for us Purdue folk. But anyway, getting into a little more meat and potatoes. Just had to drop that one there. I do apologize. I keep looking down. Unlike the host, I need some notes, especially for this section. So I made a little.
This guy's not even prepared. He's texted me. He was ready for this for days, and he's not even prepared.
Posted note really wrote way too small. It's really not even helping me at all. I just keep looking down for really no apparent reason because I'm just going off the top. Anyway, it's going to help me out now, though. So we're going to start with the first mistake. I believe this is episode 1. And he's talking about the Steelers game. I think it was Steelers-Ravens. But Steven said that Miles Austin caught the big touchdown. That is not true. I didn't even look this one up, but unless there's some other dude that I've never heard of on the Steelers, he had to have been referring to Calvin Austin. They're like second or third receiver.
Yo, who is Miles Austin? That is a real person, though, right? Like, I'm looking this up. Miles Austin has to be a football player. There's no way I just made up Miles Austin. Yeah, look, right here, Miles Austin, former wide receiver, current football coach, played for the Cowboys. Real ball knowers know Miles Austin. Come on now, Swinny. But no, that is definitely not who I was talking about. So yes, he's right.
So that's number 1. Number 2, he said that Kubler went to the quarterfinals or the round of 16 at Wemby. I believe he went to round 4, which was a very deep run, especially for a player of his ranking now. But didn't quite make it to either those. Got to round 4. So now that I'm thinking about it, 16.
Round 4 is the round of 16.
So that might not even have been a mistake, but definitely not the quarterfinals, which is where he started, but then he backed up, I'm pretty sure, on that episode. 14 times 5.
Round 4 is round of 16. Sorry, Swinny, but that's a good one. That's a good one.
70. He don't want to do that math, so I did it for him. I know it was a few moves like during the qualies of the AO, but he was trying to describe how many matches were on that night, and it's like 14 times 5. That's too much, but I got you, bro. 14 times 5 is 70. Next up, this is probably
Bro, who is this guy's math teacher at Cathedral? That was unbelievable. Like he didn't have Mr. Ludington, I know that, or Mrs. Ludington for that matter. Had to have Mr. Miller. Had to have Mr. Miller.
this one, honestly. Referred to Sebastian Offner, as Samuel Offner 3 times. The first time he said it, I'm like, that's completely wrong. That's Sebastian. But then he said it 2 more times with such confidence that I was like, damn, I got to look this up. Maybe he actually is Samuel, and I'm just an idiot. I've been getting this wrong all these years. But no, it is definitely Sebastian Offner. I don't know. My name's Sam. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe Samuel's a popular name in Austria where he ranged from. But
I get that wrong all the time. I've called that dude Sebastian Offner or Samuel Offner the whole career. I've watched this guy for years. I always call him Samuel Offner. I don't know what it is. I know it's Sebastian, kind of. I don't really. Once I get reminded it's Sebastian, I'm like, oh, duh, it's Sebastian. I don't know why I always call him Samuel Offner. Samuel Offner. Doesn't that just roll in Sebastian Offner? Sebastian doesn't sound very Austrian, in my opinion. Samuel Offner. I go, yeah. Offner, Sebastian. We got some changing to do. You could be like Charlie Sheen. You just change your name a little bit, you might become a way better player, way better brand. Endorsements going crazy. Samuel Offner it is.
Yeah, that is not his name, but shout out to Nishesh for the dub over Offner, of course, big time. Next up, Talon Greeksport, when talking about he was talking about Harrison and Scoopski, I believe. Harrison is somebody. I know they played together. I can't remember if he was talking about the AO or a past tournament, but he was talking about how they use the head prestige. And he went on to say, he had to have been talking about Scoopski, actually. They both use head prestiges. And he's saying it'll be an interesting racket matchup with the head prestiges versus the Babolat's of the Dutch duo Bodick and Callan Greeksport. But Callan Greeksport uses a Technofiber prestige. And he went on to say, he had to have been talking about Scoopski, actually. They both use head prestiges. And he's saying it'll be an interesting racket matchup with the head prestiges versus the Babolat's of the Dutch duo Bodick and Callan Greeksport. But Callan Greeksport uses a Technofiber, that like bright white Technofiber. So yeah, no Babolat there. Bodick does use the Babolat, so he's half correct there. Half correct. Well,
I basically got Nolan's racket right on that court, just so we're being right. Swinford's being a little nice there. Neither of those guys used prestiges, and the other guy didn't use a Babolat. So 3 of the 4 I got wrong. I was pretty much just talking at that point. Swinford's being nice. That was an unbelievably bad conversation that I had.
The second or third to last, I don't know, it's very recently, like this week. He asked at the very end if the Seskos are related. The Seskos being the striker that
Yo, just real quick, pause. Sesko, just shout out to him, Junior Australian Open champion. Dude's an absolute force, bro. He's a name to watch in the future. Yeah, roll the tape. Come on, chat.
Scored for Manchester United to sadly give them the dub over my Fulham Whites.
Arsenal.
Listen to my Fulham podcast
Arsenal.
Like to go after the Natty,
Arsenal.
and they're talking about
Arsenal.
After Spulture, of course.
Arsenal.
Spulture first, and then there's no after Fulhamish. So I tuned in, and they're talking about IU winning the Natty for like 10, 15 minutes. I'm like, this is crazy. Like, I just can't escape this. But respect, gotta give respect. It is a crazy story. You know, I'm not hating, but I'm just saying, tough times out here. Tough times for the Purdue folk. But anyway, wow, forget where. Oh, the Seskos. The Seskos. So we got they're both Slovenian. Shout out Slovenians. Nash on the west side, but
Nash. Steve Nash.
They are related. They are distant cousins. The striker for Manchester United, and I don't remember his first name, but Sesko, that just won the junior boys tournament. They are, according to Google at least, they are distant cousins. Steven asked me then in one episode about some Barca PSG match.
Hold up, the Seskos are related? Oh, that explains it all. That explains it all. That explains it all. We need to get Sesko on Arsenal, and this dude's winning a Grand Slam for sure. Unreal deep dive from Swinny here. Joe Lamagna must have had the algorithm with that one. How do you figure this out?
I don't have that one. I just recently got back into soccer, and I even tried to look it up, but based on the details he provided, I couldn't find anything. Could not find anything. I probably could have done a little deeper dive, to be completely honest. But I don't know. Bars PSG. I'm sure it was sick. I'm sure he's right. But yeah. Um, yeah. Thanks again. That's about all I got. So doing my best. I tried to run it through AI. Didn't really work. Most of the stuff AI said was wrong wasn't actually wrong.
AI was crazy. He sent me the screenshot of what AI said was wrong, and it was said I like pronounces Vitalina, Pitalina, and like crazy stuff like that. Crazy stuff.
Kind of fun. We just can't trust it. But anyway, thanks for having me. But yeah. In the meantime, stay tuned in. Hit me up. I don't really have, I guess, Swinford24 on Twitter. If you notice any errors from Steven, let me know. I'm down. I could use some assistance. It's very few and far between are going to be able to kind of outsmart Steven on tennis, unless we're talking about Sebastian Offner, Samuel Offner. Crazy. Crazy. Especially you interviewed the opponent after. How do you go on Sebastian? Or how do you go on Samuel or Sebastian? It's crazy. But shout out Steven. Shout out Spulture. Thank you for having me. Shout out all the sponsors. Cheers.
What's crazy is I'm gonna do that again. Like I know it's Sebastian Hoffner, but I'm gonna keep saying Samuel. Just that's what I think of in my head. It's too good. Just way too good. Unbelievably too good. Shout out to Swinford for doing that. I hope that was a fun little segment for you guys. I thought it was fun. He'd been hitting me up throughout the week, like telling me some errors and stuff. So I was like, dude, we got to get you on. Tell me everything I did wrong. Tell me all the errors, right? Uh, that's never been done on a show or anything. So nah, but for real, shout out to Swinford. Have a good week. Have a good day, everybody. We'll see you back here on another day, probably tomorrow. Peace. Cue that music, Flip Jake.